my favorite thing in the entire world is to take somebody that did something for 30 plus years and put them in a different sector and watch how they flourish because they didn't realize those skills kind of moved over.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
We are live. Welcome, everyone. We are on with Austin and Mr. By the way, I love this name, Contractor Keith. Should be on X and LinkedIn, and would love anyone watching to say hello. Leave a comment that you can see us and maybe talk about your business, because we're going to be diving into some business stuff with Contractor Keith. You can see at the bottom here that we're going to ask them 1 out of 3 questions he has to choose: business idea, business problem, or personal development. Nice to have you guys on. Thanks for joining us, Keith. How are you today?
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. I'm great, man. Great.
Where are you calling in from?
The Villages, Florida.
By your shirt?
Yeah, it's the golf community I live in now. The Villages retirement community. I'm not retired, but my dad is, and he was down here, and I wanted to be closer to him. So,
yeah,
that's awesome.
In
Austin,
people don't understand. Well, what people don't understand is I could live in a retirement community right now. I'm totally comfortable with that. Like you know, I eat dinner at 4 anyway. I want to play golf every day, and yeah, I mean, I'm in. Like, you know, and here's the thing. So right now we're in North Austin, Georgetown, Leander area, Sun City, which is the largest retirement community in America. There's like 6 of them right around the road. It's always manicured properly. They all have 2 golf courses. There's pools. I mean, it's amazing. You know?
Yeah. This place is massive. I mean, we have 2 town squares we can get to in about 15 minutes in our golf cart. We've got our own golf cart roads, tunnels that go under the roads. And they have live music 7 nights a week at 3 different town squares. And these old people, man, they have a good time. I don't drink anymore, but they're done by about 6 or 7. That's when you want to go to Publix, because 7:30, that place is empty.
Real quick, I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Leave a comment if you've ever been to the Villages, because I feel like Keith, you're wearing the perfect shirt to live there right now.
It's the Arnold Palmer shirt. That's one of the golf courses we have here. It's an Arnold Palmer design course, 27-hole championship.
Hey, we're talking business today, so you know you can make good deals on the business on the golf course. Best deals are made on the course.
Yeah.
There you go. So you said. So when we asked you about what you would pick, you said, "Oh, I could do all 3." So you know,
I could wrap all 3 into one. To be honest with you.
Hey, there you go. That's the game. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? What's 3 in 1?
Well, I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, screw it. So I quit building houses last year. Dad had some heart surgery, and I had just gotten out of pancreatitis, feeding tube, lost 100 pounds, nearly died. And I kind of lost my passion for building. I kind of lost my passion for just about anything, to be honest with you. I went through a real bad depression period during that. And thank God for my wife, kept me alive. And one really close friend, a couple of really close friends that came by to check on me almost every day. But when I came out of that, I was weak. I went from 250 to 150 pounds. I kind of looked like the Unabomber, man. My face was scruffed out to here. My hair was everywhere. I was skinny. Skin was kind of hanging off my neck. And I just felt like pure crap. And couldn't get back into the building. Couldn't deal with the stress of building spec homes. It's a lot of borrowing and a lot of stress and a lot of dealing with a lot of things. And I had a great team, because the company kept going. We hit our highest numbers while I was on a feeding tube in my house. So that was great. But we had already bought this house a week before I got pancreatitis and went in the hospital. We closed on it. And it was to eventually 5 years down the road, 8 years down the road, get here, because I'm about to turn 54. I'm not that far away. And all that happened, and all together, we decided last summer that we were just going to go ahead and close up and come down. So I did. And ever since then, I've kind of been, I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do, and it would be something with AI and tech and Notion. Started off with just Notion, and it's kind of morphed from there into what Punchlist Media is going to be, which is workflows and custom workspaces with Notion and automations and things like that. Custom LLMs for knowledge bases and, different things to that nature for small business. At first, that was just going to be contractors because 36 years I've been in construction. But I just I don't want to pigeonhole myself into that. So that's where I've been the last 8-10 months. And I've just swirled here and there and done this and done that. And I've started this and I've started that and dropped that and picked this up. And, the kind of not knowing where I wanted to go. And so it kind of all rolls together with the 3 questions, I guess, that imposter syndrome is real hard on me. It's not my place. It's not where I've been my whole life. I've been a contractor. I was an electrician. I was a plumber. Now I'm a general contractor, commercial and residential. I've probably built 300 homes, and I just feel out of place sometimes, but I don't want to build houses. So it's been kind of difficult. Tech has always been something I've always loved. Commodore 64 was my first computer back in 1983 or something. And so I'm getting there. We're launching Punchlist Media. Final touches on the website. I've got some Notion templates up. I've got some workflows put together through N8N. I've been probably, half a dozen or more courses on N8N, different automations and Notion that I've been through with specialists in that. So I'm in a good community for AI right now. And then I came to this new idea that actually fits into all of it.
I want to stop you right there because I feel like every entrepreneur has been through this. Successful, unsuccessful, the imposter syndrome, the switching what you want to do 20 times. And that's what you just said. That's what you've been doing the last year. So I love to dive into that. Austin,
yeah.
ADHD. You and I have been there. Probably more.
First of all, completely inspired. Okay. Did not see the AI coming down the pipe after a custom home builder. So that threw me. I was like, this is amazing. I will tell you what I tell a lot of my clients, because my specialty is I seem to always catch people when they're in the midst of this like massive change or need to make one. And I tell people that a lot of times in life, we're in a river raft going down the rapids, and we want to cling on to the paddle. Sometimes you got to go down the rapids without the paddle. And what I mean by that is like, we're so quick to have something to hold on to because it's what we feel when we want to be safe, but we're also hindering curiosity in life. Right. And so one of my coaches said to me, the theme in life, basically that you have 2 options. You either let go or get dragged. There's no other in between. And I think that when we're out there in the abyss sometimes, especially with the business idea, we think we're headed down this path, but life shows us another one. So I basically tell them, like, embrace the uncertainty and just kind of like let it be what it be, because at the end of the day, the clients are going to tell you, and I 100% agree with you, do not pigeon yourself to just contractors. I think that's where you can get your first couple clients. But in my opinion, you have a story to tell, and I'm more intrigued about buying into you as a person and what you've been through in the last year, and tell that story, and you'll have clients coming out of the from everywhere, Brad. But that's just.
And then for me, I've switched businesses 8 times now, I think, if I'm counting. And it always comes back to me, how many of those did you start that you were actually passionate about? And this next one, out of those 3, you chose a business idea. I always come back to, if you have to be passionate about it, because you're going to have to do it for the next 10 years.
I agree with that to a point, because passion doesn't pay bills. So to a point, you have to mix it together, I think, with a reasonable business idea as well. You can't just say, hey, I want to go be an artist, and you're not that good at it. So that was the only thing that popped in my head. Nothing against artists, by the way. I love artists. But
So
down the creek without a paddle thing, absolutely, and I'm first one to dive head first into stuff, and I've
yeah,
told people before that wanted to do something with me, I'm like, well, you better hang on because we're going full blast because it's the only way I know how to go.
well, I would say I think my question would be, the way I look at everything, right, is like everybody is at different phases of their life and they need different things, right? And so you're at a different phase than I am, than Brad's at. So like my question to you is like, are you looking to build this thing into like $100 million and you want to exit, or you just want to maintain your lifestyle, doing something good that you enjoy? This is how many clients I need. I like peace in my life more than managing, 30 people.
I said I was lost as far as, finding something to do, not having a place, in business anyway. In life, I am at so much peace right now. We don't have debt. I don't need to make a bunch of money. I don't need to make, hundreds of thousands of dollars like I was, before. I don't have $5 million in construction loans out there. I don't have all that crap, employees to pay and all that stuff. So I am at a lot more peace now as far as that goes than I've been in 10 years. But I do want to find something that I love to do, that I get excited about, and I get up and I stay up late at night anyway, because my brain won't stop thinking about things to do. But I'd like to have that thing that just says, yeah, this is what I do. This is what I meant to do. When I started building houses, that was what I was meant to do. My whole life, from my first job at 17, working for an electrical contractor, until I was 43 when I got my GC license. It was, I was always aiming towards being the builder, and I got there and I did it. And, I built a lot of nice houses, and there was a lot of ups and downs in it. And during that 10 years, I almost drank myself to death. So, I don't want the stress level. I don't want the, that high of I don't want $100 million startup. I don't care about that. I don't, it'd be great. I'm not saying that, but, I don't think I have those kind of ideas. But I do think I have some solid ideas that can help. And I've built systems for my business that was over 8 figures. And I built my own custom project management out of Evernote before I built one on Notion. So
That's great.
I think, the systems are what really helped my business, the people in the systems. And I preach this a lot. People in systems is what makes, the real wealth for your business. And then, time and freedom is where you get your peace. So
I think Austin and I can relate to both of those right there.
Yeah.
And so let's dive into that, because we asked you before the show, this is what we're doing every Wednesday now, Keith. Choose a business idea, business problem, personal development. It sounds like
I think we have our focus right here. Yeah.
Got all three. What is the idea? Are you passionate about the idea? Because it sounds like you've got the systems and the know it for the idea now. But give me your 1-minute elevator pitch on that.
All right. So the idea that I have is something I've been kind of quietly doing. This is the first time I've talked about it to anybody other than my wife and one other person. I gave it a code name because I don't have a name yet. So Strata, and Strata means like layers. That's what the Latin version of that is. So it's like Shopify, Stack Overflow, Upwork, and Gumroad had a baby, but for AI developers, for people that do what I'm trying to do, because I don't think that there's a spot out there for that there's really a community, and the community aspect is what I really want. I've been in a couple of really, really good school communities lately, and one of them was AI driven, and I've met some great people, and it's about the only place that I go anymore that, I feel like there's real community there, and it feels like we're all we all want the same thing, is to help other people do what we've learned. So that's my idea. And it comes with, a marketplace, a community, and, a place for developers like me to get together and have a place to showcase their work, talk about it, worked on it together, the whole 9 yards.
So I think what's very important, right, is that, and I just had a meeting with a client a minute ago, and we were talking about this. You think that, Automation Link or Proactive Operators, My Business, whatever, like that's the brand. I mean, it's the brand, it's what we do business in, but like the story is me, and people want to do business with me. And so you have an amazing story, and you're coming on here and you're sharing it for the first time, which is absolutely amazing. I think it's so cool. But like for you, like I would focus the next 6 months on telling your story and how you got to this point above your business, because people are going to just say, cool, I'm going to just, because I just want to hang around that guy, I'm going to do business, right? And well, here's the problem, is when you start sharing your story, the imposter syndrome comes up even more because you're sharing your story now. Now, here's the problem though, good sir, and I know I can come at you like this because you're totally fine with it. I believe that your imposter syndrome is total BS, because I'm sitting here talking. Listen, no, I'm sitting here listening to a man who knows what he's talking about, who has done it, who has came back from the brink, same as me, sober too, all these things. So you have so much to give, and by you hoarding this stuff, you're just being selfish. And so selfishly, I just want you out there helping others because you're going to help so many people. So just know that you have an advocate in me to always push you to make sure that you're telling your story authentically.
The only reason I'm laughing is because I just wanted to blurt out some things that I would say to my brothers on, that come and talk to me all the time, and it had some 4-letter words, so I refrained. And that's why I laughed.
I know you, Keith, and a lot of people may not know you watching this, but you would be a great community leader. I mean, holy cow. I know how much you like community, enjoy community, to where your AI development software doesn't really matter yet. Start building your community with your story, and I would join.
Well, thank you.
Speaking of that, I would join too, because I'm diving into AI stuff. But here's what's interesting. The question is does the community more important, or is the software? And in my opinion, the software is just a bonus to the community that starts the thing. Yeah. And at the end of the day, to run a community, it takes a special person and a special part of their life. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy, but there's a lot of joy out of it, and it provides scale the way you want it. So in my opinion, it's very simple. People make it too complicated. Start a community. You're teaching people how to use AI. You have a software that you can sell. Boom, affiliate link. Boom. You write a book on everything they're learning. Then you become a figure in the group. You start a podcast. Now you've got your points of distribution, right? And then you got your validation and your community of your raving fans. And then the software takes off. Bang, boom.
Yeah, that's where that imposter syndrome would roll right in on me, I'm sure. I don't disagree with you in the community aspect of this project. It would be the MVP, and that's in my roadmap already, because I think that is important. I think it's lacking. You got social media out here. You got X, you got Facebook, which is crap, and you got LinkedIn, and people are just always trying to sell you something there. So I don't go there as much either anymore. And between YouTube and the school community that I'm in, that's where I find that kind of camaraderie that I'm looking for. And I feel like it's missing in a lot of places, and especially in the small solopreneur AI developer kind of person.
And with your story and with your systems that you've already created, all those systems, I've seen them firsthand. You're a Notion expert. I don't know how you got to be an expert on Notion, Keith, but you did. You got these systems.
I'm not certified at it yet because they shut it down, but yeah, I build spaces, and I had one built for me that I paid, thousands of dollars for my company. And then I broke it and tore it up and broke it and tore it up and broke it and tore it up. And I said, you know what, I can do this. And I've probably bought every template from every big name out there. I still have them all. And I tore them all apart and put them back together. And it was kind of like when I was a kid with BMX bikes, you take it apart. And there's not a lot of parts in a BMX bike, but you want to take all the extra ones off the first day.
Exactly.
No reflectors, no kickstands, none of that crap. That's in my way. And break it down and simplify it. And that's kind of what I've done with Notion. And then I've taken some high level courses from some bigger names in the industry in Notion that are actually certified Notion consultants. And it's really been a big help to get me past. The biggest thing about Notion was that it's a database, and everybody looks at it because it's a spreadsheet. It's got squares everywhere. It's got rectangles. It looks like a spreadsheet. It's not a spreadsheet. It's more 3-dimensional. So once I figured that out, then the aha moment came.
And that's right up your alley. I mean, if you were in building and contractor Keith, you totally understood the frameworks and the systems there. So
Yeah.
So, I think you have stuff already. I think people would already look up to you based on your past. And then my last question is, you can give them things of high value that you already have built as you build out the AI development software. Are you going to be passionate about hosting and being the leader in a community? If you had 100 people in there looking up to you, asking for help and learning, and is that something you're going to really enjoy doing for the next few years?
Something you may not know about me is, part of when I was started my business, I was already the chair of our planning and zoning board in our little beach town in Carolina Beach, right there by where you live, Brad. And I spent 7 years on that board, it's a voluntary position, because I loved what I was doing. I was the vice chair of our Chamber of Commerce, Pleasure Island Chamber of Commerce. I was vice chair of our marketing advisory committee for the tourism board. I started a charity it started off as Habitat for Harry for this guy that lived in town. We built him a house purely off community led and suppliers. Everybody donated, and a couple of builders, myself and another builder and some other local people. I got a call while I was on the golf course about the guy. His roof was caving in. He was always Santa Claus in the wintertime for the kids. He lived right by the elementary school. Not all there, but was by himself. His family was all gone, but he owned the house. We tore it down and built him a new one because the town was going to kick him out of there and condemn it. So we started a foundation, turned it into a 501c. Then I organized golf tournaments at Beau Rivage, had 7 or 8 annual golf tournaments. We raised hundreds of thousands of people. So in a nutshell, yeah, I think I would really enjoy that part of it more than any of it. So, more than sitting here on a computer staring at a screen building workflows.
So the question remains is like, how far are you into it? What's the timeline, on kind of launching anything or just getting it going? Where's that framework?
I built a prototype on Replit, which was non-functional, but it was just something I could show people. I've got a bunch of documents with the ICPs and the framework of it, the architecture of it, and all of that stuff, a PRD. I've had all of those documents put together. I barely slept over the weekend. I started on this Friday.
Of course, that's an entrepreneur really right
there. Yeah. So I'm just starting it, and like I said, I hadn't put it out there for anybody, and I just really just went to town on it, and I didn't really do much else, including sleep over the weekend. I mean, I'd sleep 3 hours, get up and do it again for 6 or 8 hours, sleep for a couple hours, get up and keep going. And sometimes when I really get something in my head that I like, that's just kind of how I operate. But I like it, and I really want to do it.
Yep.
What is a thing? What is a social aspect? Book, posting, podcasting, whatever that be. What is an action that you can take in the next 6 months while you're building this, so people can get a front row seat to kind of understand what you're doing, so they can follow along with the journey to be kind of in it per se?
That's a question I had not thought about, Austin. So I was getting ready. I already have 3 videos that I'm getting ready to start filming. It was going to be more Notion and N8N type stuff. But yeah, maybe I need to rethink a little bit on, where I'm going with that.
We're going to have a full stack meeting, you and I. We'll talk for an hour about.
I could talk for hours. If you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, whatever. There's no time limit. We'll just talk it through because branding, marketing, that's kind of my business development stuff. But I just think that the layers of marketing it's so many layers. So it's like Brad haunts me. He stalks me, like Brad's everywhere, right? Like he's in your email, he's everywhere, right? But
hey, I'm on my treadmill writing this email, through the AI. He's just going and going and going. He never stops.
I love it, right? It's so good. He's found his thing. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And I think that my favorite thing in the entire world is to take somebody that did something for 30 plus years and put them in a different sector and watch how they flourish, because they didn't realize those skills kind of moved over. Dude, let's be honest, bro. Being a contractor is and I'll say it's a mother effort, dude. I got a guy who's a builder in Marco Island, 3rd generation.
Oh, I
He's
know
with
that
his
area
clients
well.
for 2.5 years. He's like, hey, bro, this ain't no joke. He's like, I pick these clients as much as they pick me because I got to be with these people forever. And
That's
so
why I built
if you've
spec
done
houses
that,
instead of custom. Yeah.
yeah, if you've done that, I mean, the rest is gravy. And so, Brad, what is your kind of opinion on like, there's like two schools of thought. Let's go do something amazing and then talk about it. But I like to talk about it while you're building up to it.
Yeah, that's the whole build in public, but I've also seen things Keith already has in place. So Keith, or that you could easily make. And I see this happen a lot. Somebody will go build a whole software. They'll go create a whole website. They'll go do this whole thing without talking about it and without building the interest and community first. So as you're building behind the scenes, I think first you need to find a simple Notion system that essentially would bring that ideal audience in, give that away and start building your community now and say, join my community and join my build in public. This is how I built the software with ChatGPT. This is the next thing I'm working on. This is the next thing. But I always like the community and the free offer first, and then you build behind the scenes and talk about it. Or else you could build the whole thing and no one will want it.
No, I bet I could put a forum together in 2 weeks and have it launched. It may not be pretty, it may not be perfect, but I bet I could. And I've already got 4 templates ready to put to launch that are free for Notion, and that was to build my email list more, which I have been already starting doing. And Punchlist Media websites pretty close. I've got to get finished putting my email forms together and stuff, and it's launching. So yeah, I like the idea and that wasn't really what I was expecting. So the community forum, whatever you want to call it, aspect of Strata, which is what I'm just calling it, and it may stick, I don't know, but I like it. I think it's the idea was to get these people together on both sides of the ICP, the builder and the customer, the buyer and the seller, and get them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I've been in real estate long enough to understand that most builders have no idea what they're doing. So any meaning when it comes to organizing their business, right? It's receipts on the thing, and so anything that you can do, right? But here's the problem. See now, sir, you've met me now. We've officially met over DM, and I am not going to give up until you write the story of the last 2 years, because that's the story I want to read.
I've thought about writing a book about it, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. I want to read that book because one of my favorite quotes from Ed Milet is, "Your test becomes your testimony." And
nobody can take your testimony.
And so I think that's only going to endear you, but it's also going to give you. See, you said in the beginning, I want that fire back. It's also going to give you closure to put it down on paper, so you can move on. I'm 6.5 years sober, and I can't. Sometimes I can't stand people saying, "Well, I'm and I'm like, dude, like you've been sober for like 10 years. I get every day's a struggle. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like that was part of your story. It doesn't have to be your whole story. And so what I found a lot of times is like is that people, they're reaching down for fuel that doesn't work anymore. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is like the fuel to get you here is not the same fuel because you're a different person. You're a different person every day. And so you almost have to rebuild every aspect of who you are to get this new fuel. Because I feel like a lot of people out there, they're basing their fuel off of hate, anger. I'm going to get you, chip on the shoulder. And that gets you to a certain place. But it doesn't take you to where you need to go for, this full lifestyle. But that's just my personal opinion.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. And it's tough. It's tough though. And it's, we could probably have many, many sessions, Austin, about all this. Go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
How many businesses did you say you started and ended this in the last 12 months?
It was 6 or 8, not really, probably 3 or 4 though. I had the one with the trade school thing that didn't work out for me because it was a time constraint. I'm still passionate about trades, and I meet with some people sometimes on Zoom calls and talk about how we can help get more people into the trades. I do think, I do think about that a lot, and I know that there's a crisis that we're sitting on, and most people don't even know it because pretty soon when you got a clogged up toilet, there's not going to be a plumber around to fix it because there's just not enough of them. So, but I did that, and then I did another one that I was about to start. I was trying to start the podcast thing with Contractor's Compass. I turned it into a newsletter. That's kind of fallen, just sitting there now with 1,000 subscribers on my email list. I haven't sent an email in 2 months. I tried to be a coach. I tried to write offers, and do the whole, buy my course bullshit, and, I'm not that guy. I can't do it. It's just not me. It's not authentic. It's not me at all.
Well, my point is, what happens if you do this AI development software and then you change your mind and switch again, right?
Okay, Dad.
Possibility. But it still feels like all of this is still coming around to similar. You have the systems, you've got the Notion, you've got the passion for the online stuff, you like helping, you've got your story. So essentially, the product doesn't matter yet, as long as you build the community first. And if your product switches slightly, now you can't go become a fitness coach if you have a bunch of AI developers in your community. But as long as you're in the same, planet, you should be good. That's why I like.
I think that this whole conversation has pushed it more towards the community part. And to be honest with you, I could give two craps about what the product is. Now that you've talked about that, I see that the community part. I bought the domain that I want to use so I could put a forum together, a directory, and then a forum. And I've had this idea going in the back of my head for a while. I just didn't know how to put it together. And then when my business started to finally form into what it is, then I said, all right, it's the workflows, it's the automations. And I do love doing that stuff. I spend hours in it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, you're a coach. And I'll show you off of this call. I will show you. You're a coach, and what I mean by that is you're, and this is not a slight, so don't start with me, okay? Because I know you're going to take it as a slight. You remind me of my dad, okay? Don't get all. You're not old.
I don't know your dad. I don't know your dad.
My dad was a dentist for 36 years, and in the last 8 years, now he coaches younger dentists, like after he sold his business, but they also coach on real estate investing. And he just loves it. Like he's trying to get these young doctors to not make the same mistake he did because they had extra cash. Why didn't you put it in real estate 20 years down the road? You'd have, and so he just, you don't understand. He flies around the country. He thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. And so there's so many contractors that are making money that you could, kind of systematize their business, kind of had this community to dump them in. So they have other contractors to talk to. I mean, it's all there, dude.
We'll go into more of this detail in by ourselves, Austin, and Brad, you're welcome too. But there, I did about 30 free 1-hour consults with contractors. I set up a thing. I made an offer out there, and people signed up, and I did free calls with them. And not a damn one of them wanted any help to make their business get over to 7 or 8 figures, because it would have taken them hiring somebody, which costs money, or them doing this, which getting a system together, which costs money, or them, the people in systems. That was what I was preaching. This is how I did it. This is what I did. Or borrowing money to go build a house. You don't have cash. What are you going to do? You got to borrow money to build houses. That's our industry. That's what you do. And they just wanted people to come beg them to build them a house. And I said, well, are they knocking at your door? I mean, I'm not a marketer, so I can't help you with that side of it, but I can tell you how I did it. And I walked away with 0 customers. 0. I got one out of that.
I would argue they're the hardest ones to sell to.
Contractors are very skeptical.
Yeah, very hard. Yeah, it's very hard. It's like roofers. Roofers are lunatics. I know because
that's why I was a plumber. I'm under the house.
I know because I coach a couple of roofers. It's a wild business, but I think maybe you don't coach contractors. Maybe you just coach people that want to learn about AI. That's the indoor because they're curious about it. But here's my group. They know, like, and trust you. Then you're selling them deeper into the thing instead of trying to cold sell them on the first, which is very hard.
Yeah. I learned a long time ago when I was first getting into online marketing and I had a drop shipping website, and I've done a bunch of other stuff back, when the market crashed. I learned how to figure out how to make money, and it was through doing that kind of stuff. And I learned you have to give away your best stuff to get, the people in. It's almost your best stuff and I heard that from an online marketer back in 08 or 09, and you give away your best. He said the different word stuff. And I still believe that. I still believe you got to, it's not
100%.
just about hooks and offers.
Couldn't agree more.
Punchlistmedia.com. We're going to be stalking you to see what you do.
It's almost ready. It's alive. I mean, you can see the site up. There's a couple of changes I still need to make to it, but it's up and running, and I've got my workflows going. And I self-hosted an 8N that I set up, and I'm starting to get some workflows and automations going, and I'm excited. I got some Notion stuff going, and I think it all ties together very well with the systems that I've been talking about that'll help some small businesses that are open to learning it.
So we're 2 episodes in, and this is why Brad and I wanted to do this show.
I thought this had been around for a while. I'm your second guy. That's awesome.
It's just 35 minutes of just amazing stuff that wasn't planned, that covered so many grounds. I think a ton of people can learn from, and I'm just so excited to, have people back on, 6 months, a year later, and see what's now. Yeah, it's just really cool.
I'm gonna be a dentist.
It's good money, dude.
I'm sure it is. I'm kidding. But dentist just popped in my head. It wasn't about your dad.
Yeah. But Brad, do you have anything else?
What community software are you going to use? Do you know?
So
you like school? I know you're on school.
I'm on school. No, it's gonna be my own. I'm not gonna be hosting on somebody else. This is gonna
You're not
be
going to go to WAP, huh?
No, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be, it'll take time to grow. So I think it's just gonna be. I think I can put it together too. So
I like it. All right.
Haven't gotten that far with it yet. Is exactly the software that the main part of the marketplace will be Gumroad's source code, but that'll be all back end. You won't see any of that.
Nice. Well,
amazing.
If anyone has any comments, recommend if you have any ideas for Keith, or of course, go follow him and check him out. Contractor Keith. You're on LinkedIn too, right?
I am. Yep. Keith.
You share some cool stuff on X, so build that.
I'm on and off on X. You guys were talking about X last time, and I have a love-hate relationship, but I started back in 08 on it, and I can't go anywhere. I always come back to it.
You're stuck.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well,
it's fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to coming back in 6 months, and let's watch this and see what's up.
I'll be talking to you.
You might be a dentist. You might have a community. You might finally just retire. I don't know.
I might be building houses again and give up
playing golf every day. Yeah.
I'm not that good at golf. That's the problem. I play with these. I call it the old timers league. It's the men's league. They're like 80, and they kill me.
Yeah.
And they laugh about it.
True story.
They make fun of me.
Play with my grandma. My grandma doesn't hit it more than 125 yards. It's
straight.
A tree course on her lake house. Here I am trying to smash it 300 into the trees. She whooped me by like 30 strokes, and she just hits it right down the center every time.
I call them 38 special. Right down the middle, always reliable. 38 special. Yeah, love it.
Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Quick.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, go ahead.
113 people live right now. Holy cow.
Crap.
Keith,
I didn't want that many people to see me.
Your good looks brought everyone in.
I don't know about all that stuff either.
We'll try to have
tell my wife
1,000.
you said that, though.
Well, we basically started the show so Brad could feel like he's at Sports Center with a ticker. So he's very happy. So we're good.
We're gonna start doing the baseball scores down below on the next one.
Yeah, you can have your entrepreneur scores. You can see who flops and who doesn't.
Funded. Yeah, 100%.
Stumbling, bumbling, rumbling, touchdown.
Appreciate you being on, Keith. Awesome
Thanks,
chatting with you. Let's see what the business comes. Everyone watching, we appreciate it. Leave us a comment, follow Keith, and hopefully join us next Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern time. We'll have the next awesome entrepreneur on that has started 20 businesses in the last year.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
You bet.